Hey there everyone, this is Mahindra Raj. Just making this quick video for you all to show you all how to use TimeTrade effectively, or as many of the options I can use or know of how to use, because a couple of people requested that I make this video. So here goes, right? So the first thing, I'm already logged into TimeTrade, as you can see, and that's my account there. And you can see that under activities, I already have set up like 4 different types of scheduling calendars that I typically use. All right, so the activities is where you want to look at. I don't really use email invitations, so you probably just click on the activities and you can create a new activity from here. But before we go to that, let's go to the admin tab. All right, admin tab. First of all, you'll see the personal information, and where you just put in whatever you want, time zone, etc. Make sure you put in your time zone. Yeah, Singapore, Malaysia, same time zone for me. Email, change password. Now the one you want to look at is up here, appointment rules. What you want to be aware of is appointment rules. You can set it to whatever day of the week you want your first day to be. I set it at Monday. I always don't let users book appointments on the current day, which is within 24 hours. All right, so no last minute appointments for me. Don't let users book appointments more than 4 weeks into the future, or you can set whatever you wish. It can be 2 weeks. In the beginning, I was experimenting because my flying schedule, when I was flying, I only had my schedule 2 weeks ahead of time, so I was setting it at 2 weeks. And then I realized that, well, after I resigned, I no longer had that schedule, so I could set up to 4 weeks, so I changed it to 4 weeks. But there's one kind of catch, or one thing you want to be aware of, which I'll get to later, right? So just know that under the admin tab, appointment rules, you can set these things. So here I got it set at 4 weeks to the future, all right? But just be aware, I'll come back to this in a while. Now, I want to receive email confirmations when users book appointments with me, obviously, all right? Then you save account settings. Now, let's go back to home and connect the calendar, right? You can do this later. You also want to automatically insert TimeTrade appointments to your desktop calendar. The caveat here is that TimeTrade requires you to use the same email address for your calendar as you would use with TimeTrade. So with TimeTrade, I'm using this one, serenityraj@gmail.com. Now in my iCal, I need to convert that also in the same way, right? So just make sure you're using the same calendar, otherwise they don't show up. Now, under activities, you can create a new activity. I'll go ahead and just show you what I got so far first. So, for example, if I click on my 30-minute coaching session block, you can name this whatever you want. You'll see later. And basically, under activity details, if I click edit there, it's a bit slow. All right, so name of activity to be scheduled. You can name this whatever you want, all right? Duration, obviously, if you want to block a 30-minute schedule, you block a 30-minute schedule, okay? That means every time someone books that slot, they are booking a 30-minute slot. Description, just name it whatever you want. So this description is shown to the client, right? That's what they see, coaching with Mahindra 30 minutes. Now, how will you meet with invitees for this activity? Pretty straightforward. We're meeting by the phone, not in person. And I always give invitees the following phone instructions. So here you will see that's just one line, but what I've done is you can also just, if I paste this in, you'll see that it's call my phone number or Skype username Mahindra Raj. You can enter whatever you want, and no matter how long or how much text you put here, you can always just paste it in here and it's going to be shown in a certain way. Now, then we click next, edit additional options. I tick include a welcome message that will be displayed when invitees schedule appointments. So you can go ahead and edit or create your new welcome message. And mine's pretty long, it's pretty descriptive. And I just make sure I cover everything. Please use my online scheduling system. As you can see, blah, blah, blah. You are booking a 30-minute coaching session with me, which is the equivalent of 1.0 coaching sessions. I like to clarify this so they're very, very clear about what they're getting. All right. And there's no question about it. On the next page, be sure to select your appropriate time zone first. See, all this I write down because I want, hopefully they'll read this in the first place and those are the instructions how to do it. Because I've had some clients who book according to whatever time zone is shown, not their time zone. And I also put a reminder here, plan your coaching call form. No one reads this, unfortunately. A lot of people don't fill up the plan your coaching call form. All right, and then that's it. You save this, and prompt invite you to answer a question. If you have anything like that, you can maybe put, have you filled up your plan your coaching call form? All right, they'll need to answer that question. And then you click finish. Okay, so that's basically a run through of how to create a new activity. So all that description, that information is set up there, which is 30-minute coaching session, duration 30 minutes. It's a phone meeting, and these are the instructions that will be given to them. Okay, all this will be shown later. Now, if you want to see that, let's go ahead and copy that. This is how it's going to look to them. Open a new tab, paste in, and that's basically, you see, this is my welcome message, which I typed in. Okay, now they can read that. Click the button below, check my availability, continue. Now you'll see I've also put in my logo there. I can show you that later if you want. Now, so all the instructions are click time zone, select available slots, hit continue, and straightforward. You know how to do that. All right, so let's leave that open for a second. Now, appointment availability. There are a couple of things you want to know here, right? When you click appointment availability, first things first. Now, remember when we went to admin and appointment rules 4 weeks to the future, I said I'll get back to this. Now, what I found was at one point I was setting this for 4 weeks to the future, but what was showing up here, the calendar was only showing me 2 weeks into the future. So I was like, what the heck's going on, right? So all the slots I allocated beyond 2 weeks wasn't showing up. And so through trial and error, what I discovered was not only, for some reason, this one, if you go to admin and go to appointment rules, this thing really doesn't apply. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to do what works, right? So 30-minute session. So when you click on appointment availability, what you want to do is you want to go to advanced availability options for this 30-minute session calendar. Click on that. And you can see here, they have another one here. You got to tick this box. Don't let users book appointments on the current day. Make sure you tick that if that's what you want, not within 24 hours. And make sure here you must set, don't let users book appointments more than how many weeks. Now, in my case, I've set it to 3 weeks. I used to do 2 weeks, and then I tested out 4 weeks. The con of setting 4 weeks, anything more than 3 weeks, I found is I was getting, when I set it 4 weeks, I was getting more people having the belief that they could just, reschedule a call at their whims and fancies. So I'm controlling what they can see so that they're not planning too far ahead into the future. You might even want to experiment with 2 weeks to the future. 2 weeks to the future worked well for me. So you could do that too, right? But right now I'm just using 3 weeks. That works fine. I found that 4 weeks was way too far ahead, and some people, were just when I let them book it themselves, they were booking the next session a month away, which was just unacceptable, right? So play with that. Make sure you set it within the appointment availability page. Then show invitees no more than whatever you can, 10 available slots per day. Generally, I don't have more than 10 slots per day. So, they can be shown that. So you can control what they see. If you want to create more scarcity, the scarcity effect of that exclusive feeling of, okay, they got to get in now and book their slot, you can set it to 3 or 2 slots. Okay, that'll make them feel, oh, wow, this is, he's running out of slots. I need to book this. But I don't do that. I just use 10, right? So you go ahead and close that. Now, when it comes to this, remember that this is 30-minute coaching session, and we've assigned it as 30 minutes duration, if you remember that. So each time, for example, if I click here, I'm just left clicking, right? I'm clicking bang. Now, this comes out as a 30-minute session. If I click it again, it comes out as a 30-minute session, 30-minute session, all right? If I want to move, I can just place it over this. You see that cross arrow thing? And I just drag it. Okay, drag it where I want. If I want to delete it, go there and delete this window. Okay, the other options here, when you click this arrow, you can recur this every Sunday because it's booked under Sunday. And you can end the recurrence after a certain time. You can do that too. Okay, it just repeats. I generally don't use all that. I like more flexibility and control. Okay, so I'll delete that and I'll delete that. Now just understand that because we set it up earlier as a 30-minute coaching session with a 30-minute duration, every click is 30 minutes. Now I'm going to show you something a bit more different. Okay, so let's clear this out. So if you go, this is like to go to the next page. Okay, you can see all my slots. The other thing is, if you tick this box, whatever you've set in, like for example, iCal, okay, whatever you set here, all your busy times, they're going to come up here when you tick this box. You see? See, it's how it's busy, 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 busy. So it automatically blocks out, but the only thing is you can't, see I'm clicking, but I can't assign a slot. In order to assign slots, I got to untick this box and then click. Get it? All right, so let's finish that up. Now remember I said it's a 30-minute coaching session with 30-minute duration? Here's the catch. Now, a couple of people I know I've spoken to who've used TimeTrade, they set it up differently, and I'll show you how to set it up. So let's go to activities again. I'm clicking on activities. I'm clicking create activity. And let's say I call it name of activity. I'm going to call it 30-minute coaching session. But duration, I'm setting it as 45 minutes. Now what I'm doing here is I'm telling the client, this is a 30-minute coaching session you're booking, but I allocate a 45-minute slot. Therefore, it creates a 15-minute buffer between each 30-minute coaching session, right? In the other way, where I did, let's go back there. Let's go and see here. In this one, what happens is this is a 30-minute coaching session and a 30-minute block, which means to assign buffers, I have to manually assign the buffer. So I'm booking one slot here at 9:30, and instead of booking it here back to back, I'm dragging it. I'm allowing 15 minutes between calls. You see, so I manually assign the buffer. All right. Now the other method, which is what I was showing you earlier, let me just delete all that. Click finish. The other method was where, let's create a new activity again. So 30-minute coaching session, right? And you assign a 45-minute block, and then you put whatever description you want. 30-minute coaching with Mahindra, okay? And by phone, like we said earlier, give invitees following email address. You can put your Skype here, whatever it is, right? Click next. Now, we're here. Now watch this. We called it a 30-minute, but we assigned a 45-minute block. So every time I click here, look what happens. It's a 45-minute block assigned. So that means the buffer, the 15-minute buffer, is already assigned in this block. So I'm doing a 30-minute coaching session. I'm telling them it's a 30-minute coaching session, but I'm blocking 45 minutes as a buffer for me. All right. So that allows me to do, and this is what some, like Evo does this, right? So all you do is you click it, and you take this, the bottom right of this block. You see this arrow, little arrow comes out, drag the title bar to move. You just drag it all the way. All the way. Boom. Each one of these small columns here is a 45-minute block with a 15-minute buffer automatically built in. Does that make sense? So it's a 30-minute coaching session, but the 15-minute buffers between each session is already built in. That's one way you could do it. I don't do it that way because I don't want any confusion to arise in the client's mind. I want them to know it's a 30-minute session and have no doubt about it. So I assign, what I do is a bit more tedious, but at least they're clear about what they're getting, okay? Make sure, one of the things you got to do is you got to click advanced availability. Don't let users book appointments on the current day, and don't let users book appointments more than whatever weeks you want, like 2 weeks into the future. Show invitees no more than, I don't know, I would set 10 available time slots per day and click next. Okay, include welcome message, you tick that, And then you can edit. You can put whatever you want. Hi, book your slot. Whatever you want, right? Click Save. Click Next. And you're done, right? This is the link for it. Let's copy and paste and see how that works out. Okay, so that's the welcome message. Hi, book your slot. Hit continue. No available times. Why? Because we didn't select any times, right? But if I selected any times, if I assign any slots, you would see 45-minute blocks available. Okay, so this is a bit tricky if you do this because they might think they're booking a 45-minute slot, which is why I don't do it. All right, that takes care of that. Now, what else? Let's go back to home. I can go ahead and delete this. Yeah, I can delete this activity. Make sure you got the right one selected. I don't want that one anymore. Delete. Okay, done. And so you can see here, I've got my 30-minute coaching session. I've created a separate calendar for 45-minute intro and first coaching session. Why? Because my welcome message is slightly different. Okay, so that allows me to set different welcome messages for different blocks. You'll see that this is a 45-minute intro and this is a 45-minute session. Let's copy that. So the slots are the same. It's just that the welcome message is different. I mean, a bit more tedious, but that's how I do it. So you'll see 45-minute intro up here. Okay. Please use online scheduling system. This first session will be an introduction session plus your first coaching session. Okay, that's what it says. Session will run 45 minutes length, which is longer than the usual 30 minutes. You and I will use additional time to cover, to get to know each other and get more clarity about who you are and the coaching you're about to receive. Now, in the normal 45-minute coaching session, it just says 45-minute coaching session. Difference, right? So that allows me to set it up differently. This one says you are booking a 45-minute coaching session with me, which is the equivalent of 1.5 coaching sessions. See, I make it clear to them so there's no misunderstanding. On the next page, be sure to select blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's the only difference. This one has all that, and the regular 45-minute session has all that. So by me assigning different activities here, I am able to create different welcome messages. Right? I also have a 60-minute coaching session. I've had a couple of times where clients didn't do a session for a month and they wanted a longer session. That's how I do it. All right. That's pretty much what you need to know. The other one you want to know is what are the, for example, pros and cons of letting a client book their slot, which I was doing during my first month, and compared to if you book it for them. First month I tested out letting them book it. I don't do that anymore. It was stressful because I ended up chasing a lot of clients because then some of them just will not be proactive enough to book the slot. So watch out for that one. I would suggest you do one of two things. A, you either at the end of each session, you pull up this link, or well, not the intro session, but say you put up 30-minute session. While you got them on the phone, before you end the session, you pick their time zone, offer them available slots, select it, continue, and enter the name and email address, do the booking for them. That's the best thing I found, okay? Now, the other thing is, what I tend to do is, I tend to only offer like, okay, for example, you see my first slot here is Saturday. I don't say, okay, I have 18th, 25th, 27th, 29th, and 1st available. I just say, okay, my next day available is on the 18th, provided it's like 10 days or more away from this current session. So I tell them the next session is on the 18th. I have 2 o'clock, 2:45, 3:30. Which one would you like? That forces most of them to just pick that day. So what I tend to do to make my life easier is I fill up day by day. So until I filled up the 16th and 17th, I never offer the 18th verbally. All right? So that's how I kind of manage my time even better. So if I can cover all my coaching sessions within the first whatever number of days, then that's it. I got the rest of the month off. Yeah, make sense? All right, that's one. The other option of booking is like something like what Dave Blomsberg kind of shared with us, where he has his clients, certain clients book at set days and times each week. And that's an option you can also follow. I personally don't like that option because it's not flexible enough for me. Then I'm tied to a certain schedule, which then I don't like. I like flexibility, so that's how I roll. And so clients kind of work around my flexibility. So they're willing to adapt to different days and times. I've only ever had one client who was super specific about wanting only Saturdays. And so hence why the days I set up for coaching are Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And the rest of, well, I have 65 clients right now. And if I assign 9 or 10 slots every day, 3 days a week, that covers 65 clients. Okay, so you can do all these calculations and set it up yourself. At first, I was assigning 4 days a week, and then I realized it was unnecessary. Then I just scattered 4 days a week of less coaching sessions. So I try to pack in 3 days with coaching sessions and roll from there. All right. What else? I think that's it. That's about what covers it. So I've covered how, you can set 30-minute sessions as they are. You can set a 30-minute session, but select the duration as 45 minutes. So you can just drag the block. Or if you do it my style, you're having to select individual blocks, creating the buffers manually. Okay, I hope that makes sense and that helped clear things up. Let me know if you need anything else or want anything else from this session, or for me to clarify anything. All right. The other thing, create email invitation. I never have had to use it. This is like if you want to send an email to them and say, okay, hey, you know what, book your coaching session, bang, the button is already there. I've never had to use it. I just usually, this is what I do in my emails. Let me show you what I do in my emails. I've already created links within my email. So like there, cancel. All right, you see this? So these are, I put a link for download the coaching platform, nice and red and bold. And I also put all the links here. Okay, that way I don't have to send an, I don't have to go, like, I don't have to go create an email invitation, right? That solves that. So, yep, hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned from this and can use TimeTrade even more effectively right now. And this opened up the universe of possibilities to you. All right, take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.